It's my birthday present from Daniel. Hoping they're tickets to Greece.
Where's it from?
I don't know, the boys took it off.
I took it off.
It's from Ukraine.
So, plane tickets? Ooh, a hat I can wear in Greece.
It's not a hat.
It's not.
Oh, my A-game friend!
He did it.
It's great. They can gather eggs.
So cute. It's really cute. It's a cute one.
That's the best. You're welcome.
Thanks, honey.
Not for a long time.
Okay, I finally got a chance to read the New York Times article on Ballerina Farm. Let's talk about it. I have loved this content because obviously it's like a fairy godmother type situation where she's just good at everything she does. She does ballerina, she does Miss America, Miss Utah. She has 8 kids that she has unmedicated. She makes everything from scratch. In my mind thinking, okay, you know, this is a facade that she puts on for social media. She has help behind the scenes. People are helping her film. People are helping her cook meals. People are helping her homeschool her children. She has a nanny, all this stuff. And according to this article, the only help that they have is a house cleaner once a week. When she was asked about if this farm that they're running, this business, this life that they're living, if this was her dream, she immediately said no. She wanted to be a ballerina. But, you know, life has some changes and, you know, life turned a different direction. And when they asked her husband how he felt about this, that this was the life that he always had envisioned for himself, of course, he said yes. He also is the one that doesn't want a house cleaner. He also is the one that wants fresh meals from scratch every single day. He doesn't want help. He wants her to be doing all of these things. Hannah's husband, Daniel, also pointed out the fact that sometimes Hannah gets so overly exhausted that she can't get out of bed for a whole week at a time because of everything that she has on her plate. Another point I found really interesting was when the author of this article asked her if she had all of her kids unmedicated without any epidural, and she said all but 2. And she said one of them she had an epidural with because her husband wasn't there because he was back home doing something on the farm while she was giving birth. And the author asked her, oh, was the epidural amazing? And she kind of whispered like, yeah, it was amazing, because her husband was on the phone in the other room and she didn't want her husband to hear that she loved having medication to ease her birth. She was asked if she was a feminist because, hello, she's a girl boss. Like, she's such a badass. She was asked if she was a feminist, and she said, I do think I'm and then she stopped and she looked at him and did a different answer. And the author also said at the end of the article that there was not one time where she was able to get a direct answer out of Hannah without her looking at her husband, him talking over her, or him correcting her. It was never just a set answer with her. So it makes me really sad because I kind of thought that this portrayal that she had of her family and of herself online was, you know, just for like online, and like she had all this help behind the scenes. And no, this is like their real life. And it makes me so sad for her. She gave up her dreams, and yes, obviously she loves motherhood, she loves her life, but like she gave up everything and he gave up nothing.
I had to get on here and talk about this because one thing that really breaks my heart is to see a woman in a situation where she is literally being abused and she doesn't know she's being abused. This is probably the worst case of Stockholm syndrome that I've ever seen, if there is one, right? But I do not have any notes. So I am going to be speaking my mind. I'm going to be speaking what's on my mind. I'm going to be sharing my opinions. And of course, if I have any advice to give you ladies, I will share those advice as well. All right, so let's break this down. This lady, I do not know how old she is though. Give me a second. Let me look up her age. A week ago, I had no idea who this woman was. So she was born on June 25th, 1990. So she's a Cancer. Lord, it's always the Cancers. Cancer, listen, if you're a Cancer, you probably was going through a lot lately. So if she was born in 1990, that would mean that she's in her 30s, which is still young. So she's 34 years old. So her name is Hannah Neeleman, and she is, as far as I understand, she's a Mormon. It's always those weirdos. And her husband, what's her husband's name? Because in her Wikipedia page, her spouse is Daniel Neeleman. He doesn't have a Wikipedia because he probably doesn't do fucking shit. Her father-in-law is there, David Neeleman. All right, so the guy that she's married, he has a rich daddy. I don't think he made that money himself, all right? And this man is clearly a narcissist. She has 8 kids, y'all. 8 kids. 8 kids with no nannies. Zero nannies, zero help, because her husband wanted it that way. Okay, he was looking for the traditional wife. No, he was looking for a fool. Okay, and he got one. Because ain't no way I'm doing all this shit. Like, if I have that many kids, I will literally be the worst mom on the planet because I ain't doing all that shit. But anyway, this is not about me. And y'all, she had them kids without epidural, without pain med assistant. And from what I've gathered, she had those kids at home as well. So it's very weird. It's like a weird situation. I think in the New York Times article, they mentioned something about her getting the epidural a couple times for 2 births, and that was because her husband wasn't there. But can you imagine having a man that is so controlling every aspect of your life? Like he's telling you how to give birth. What kind of psychopath is this? What is going on? So anyways, this young lady, her claim to fame is marrying this guy, which is her biggest mistake, obviously, but making content on social media about the farm life. And people thought she was living a normal, simple life, but people started getting really suspicious when they saw some of her appliances in her kitchen, because she's using stoves and stuff like that that regular people don't use, okay? Like, you go into a rich person's kitchen, and the stove that you're going to see there and the appliances that you're going to see, they may look normal, but that should be costing like 150 grand, literally. So people were like, there's no way that this is, a simple life, Obviously, she came under some scrutiny on the internet. And again, I do not have all my facts right. I'm just sharing what I've learned in my research. Because honestly, this girl looks very boring. She's not someone that I would call interesting, but because, the whole Tradwife thing is, very popular on social media with all the narcissism and whatnot, I have to address it. Because I don't want any one of my followers to fall into this Tradwife trap. I am not a traditional wife. I'm just letting you all know. I am married. I am in no way a traditional wife. I don't be out here cooking meals and giving birth and doing none of that shit. As a matter of fact, I am child-free, and I chose to be child-free. That in itself should tell you that I'm not a trad wife. People think just because you're married to a provider that they think you're a traditional wife. I'm not. People think because you're getting an allowance from your husband, they think you're a trad wife. I'm not. Shira 7 is not a traditional wife. Okay? You all need to get it through your head. Do not get confused, because being a trad wife is not something that you want to aspire to, ladies. You don't want to aspire to that. And the women that are showing this lifestyle on social media, and for some reason, a lot of them are Mormons, which doesn't make any sense to me, because Nara Smith, the one that y'all love to hate so much, she's Mormon. But she is not a trad wife. Nara Smith is standing in her kitchen, draped in designer clothes and jewelry. Her hair done, makeup fresh. You're gonna be out of your damn minds if you think that that's a trad wife, because these trad wives be looking run down and tired. Okay. Anyway, back to the topic, because I'm starting to rant a little bit, because this shit really irritates my soul. Like, you'll have no idea how this irritates my soul. But back to Hannah. So anyways, it all came to a head when the New York Times did an article on her, and that New York Times article revealed a lot, which I'm not going to get into, because I'm going to post a video, which you probably saw before you got to this part of the video, with someone basically summarizing the video, because listen, I can't, because there's so many red flags in that article, and I'm telling you that this woman is being abused. This woman is under narcissistic abuse and control. The part that really messed me up, because it's not even the article, y'all. Because, journalists can sensationalize a story and, use it for propaganda or whatnot. All right? A journalist can be biased. Okay, so the article itself is not the problem. The problem is when I saw that video where I think it's her birthday or whatnot, and she's talking about, oh, I want to go to Greece. I really want to go to Greece. And she's opening the presents and she's taking his tickets to go to Greece or Italy. She thought it was a hat. Turns out it's not even a hat. It's a fucking apron. And then in that video, you hear him with the passive aggressive, "You're welcome." Oh my God, that man is evil. That man does not like her. That man hates her. He even admits that sometimes she's so tired, she can't even get out of bed for like a week because this poor woman is working herself into an early grave. First of all, do you know what 8 kids do? Like, first of all, this woman is 34 years old and she already has 8 kids. Like, that is insane. This is 2024. This man keeps giving her children because they don't believe in abortion and birth control or whatever, because they're Mormons. This man keeps giving her children, keeping her trapped. And these kids are exhausted. Like, do you know how exhausting one kid is? I don't have kids, but the few times that I babysat, I'm still traumatized by those experiences. I cannot stand to be around kids, especially very young kids. They are exhausting for me. And do you know how I know that? Because I'm an older daughter. I came from a family of 7 kids. And this is what happens to kids that come from big families, because this is what is happening to this family. Them kids are going to be traumatized, especially the older kids, and they're going to grow up and they're not going to want any kids at all. I'm the oldest daughter. I have no kids. You know why? Because I was parentified at a very young age, because my parents kept having all these damn kids that they couldn't manage. And of course, the older siblings always pick up the slack for the parents. If you go and you talk to any child-free woman who is off somewhere traveling and living a child-free life, I bet you she was an older daughter, or she came from a big family where she had a lot of siblings and she had to look out for them or compete for the parents' attention or whatnot. I can guarantee you that, because I am going to be the first one to share with you ladies the reason why I don't want kids is because of that trauma growing up of being the oldest daughter. That shit is traumatic. It really is. That's why I live the life that I live. I don't want kids and my husband doesn't want kids. We've been married for 11 years. And one of the criteria that I took very seriously when I was dating was I didn't want a man that was expecting me to bear him kids, because that shit wasn't going to happen. I'm not going to change my mind. I just turned 45, as you all know. You all saw. You all go to my Instagram and, give my birthday post some love and follow me. Why are you not following me? Oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, this is my personal Instagram page. So yeah, you all go follow me. Anyways, yeah. So let me tell you something, ladies. We have to start working on the relationship that we have with ourselves, because people who don't love themselves do not know how to assert boundaries. When I told my husband about this story, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, Charles, what do you think about this? Okay, this woman, she's married to a rich guy and she wants to go to Greece or whatever. And on her birthday, instead of giving her tickets to Greece or taking her on a trip to Greece, he bought an apron." My husband was like, first of all, that guy is an asshole. And secondly, that girl is a fool, because that's what she's willing to put up with. Ladies, you got to remember that we as women set the tone of the relationship. You set the tone of the relationship. The way a man treats you in a relationship is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. All right? And if you have children, that man is going to treat those kids exactly the same way he treats you. Men don't love their children like mothers do. Men will treat their children exactly how they feel about the mother of their children. This is why men don't give a shit about their baby mamas, but will treat the children of the woman that they love, like the current wife or current girlfriend. They'll treat them good because they love the mother. That's how they feel about the mother. And it also is a reflection of how the mother feels about herself. So if you do not believe for 1 second that you set the tone in the relationship, then you will not get anything from this video. If you're the type of woman that love to self-sacrifice and like to put men on pedestal and believe in traditional gender role, this is not the channel for you, okay? My content is about hypergamy and self-development. That is what my page is about. I've been doing this behind the scenes for years, and it's only recently I decided to get on YouTube. But if you sign up to my Patreon right now, you have literally 4 years worth of content on there. Hundreds of videos. I've been doing this for a long time. And I've been changing the trajectory of the lives of many women in a positive way, obviously. So if you're a pick-me, if you put men on pedestals, if you love men more than you love yourself, this is not a channel for you, because I'm all about self-development and self-mastery and being selfish, ruthless, and self-serving as a woman. The only way that you're going to get any respect from men, the men in your life, is when you start putting yourself first and you start prioritizing your needs being met first above anything else. This woman sacrificed her entire life. She used to be a ballerina. She used to be a dancer. She sacrificed all of that to be with this man. And this man clearly hates her. He hates you. Like, girlfriend, this man hates you. And you're trapped because now you have 8 kids. You're trapped. Do you know how difficult it is for her to get out of that situation? Imagine being married to someone wealthy who is also a narcissist and who's also controlling and who also hates you. If you decide to escape and file for divorce, he's going to hate you even more. And he's going to make your life a living hell. The only way to get out is to leave in the night when he's not around. You know, some divorces are not worth fighting in court because this man will use all the resources at his disposal to destroy you and make your life a living hell. Right now in our book club, we are reading a book about divorces. You all should sign up. The link is in the description. And going back to the whole apron thing, please stop lying. What I'm talking about here is, number one, if you do not like something that this man is doing, do not lie and be like, oh my God, it's a toss of cards. Like, don't do that. And you can tell in her face that she wasn't happy about that apron. Like, I'm sick and tired of seeing women on the internet getting crappy gifts, like literally crappy gifts, the worst gifts ever, and acting like if the man just give you a fucking diamond ring or something. Stop. Because guess what he's going to do? He's going to call you ungrateful, and I don't care. Bring it on. If a man calls me selfish, I don't care. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, right, I'm doing something good. If this man thinks I'm selfish, I'm doing something right. If he thinks I'm ungrateful, great. And you know why I'm doing something right? Because he did not leave. Because if I'm selfish and ungrateful, why are you still here? Like, I will turn that shit around and use it to my advantage, because that's what the narcissist will do. The narcissist will tell you that how ungrateful you are and I'm blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, you don't deserve to go to Greece because, you know, I thought of you. Like, that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do. So she knows who she's married to, and she knows that she has to pretend that she really likes that gift. But you see, the thing is, you're 8 kids in. You were supposed to nip that in the bud from day one. The first time he did some bullshit, you nip it in the bud. I've heard women that divorced men that they were married to for like 5 minutes. Those are the type of women that I love. I love women like that. Do not accept this raggedy behavior from these men. This shit is abusive. And usually when you see these type of toxic ass couples on the internet and they start getting called out because people are calling her out. Like, people are like, what the? I'm going to see if I can share the comments, but people are like, girl, oh no, baby, what is you doing? Those couples always come back on the internet, or the woman, because it's always a woman that comes on the internet and defend that man, defend your abuser. This is abuse, ladies. He gets the life that he wanted at your expense, at the expense of your freedom and your happiness and peace of mind. Ladies, no one is worth your freedom and your happiness. Because I know there are some toxic advice that floats around in this community, this whole level up, sprinkle community. You know, like, oh, just accept this silly behavior as long as you're getting money, or accept the cheating as long as you're getting money. Ladies, you do not have to accept none of that shit. You don't. That's why I keep telling you, ladies, you got to build your own wealth. Get your own money. Stop being a bum, broke bitch. Stop. I know a lot of women in the community don't like the girl boss. But guess what? That girl boss has her own money. She can walk away at any time she wants. While you, a stay-at-home mom or whatever, is dependent on that man's income and the fact that the man likes you and wants to be with you. If he decides one day that, you know what, I'm sick of this, guess what? You on the breadline. Like, he's going to toss your ass out on the streets. Just because a man is wealthy, that doesn't mean he's going to be a good husband. That doesn't mean he's going to be good to you. A lot of these men are psychopaths and narcissists. They will abuse you because they get a thrill out of it. And it's not even his money, it's his daddy's money, which is even more fucking embarrassing. If you decide to divorce him, who are you going to divorce? His daddy? Like, ladies, y'all need to be smarter than this. Because this is not a good look at all. I'm sorry, it's not looking good. I mean, I guess I can say, love yourself. The most important relationship you will ever have is a relationship with yourself. Because I want you to ask yourself this question. Look at the situation and ask yourself, would someone who loved themselves be in that situation? You already know the answer. People who love themselves are not in these type of situations. And a lot of women do not love themselves. And a lot of men do not love themselves. We are living in a world with so much self-hate. Everyone around you hates themselves. Everyone. So work on a relationship with yourself. Because even if you don't work on your relationship with yourself, okay? Let's say, for example, you don't learn to love yourself, but somehow you find a good man. Because of your lack of self-love, you will find a way to push that man away. The same reason why, the same reason Carrie in what's the name of that show, Sex and the City, the way she treated Aiden is exactly how she feels about herself. So when she was getting that treatment, that bad treatment from Big, it felt familiar. She loved it because she hates herself, doesn't know how to assert any kind of boundaries or nothing. My husband basically said that that's what she's willing to accept, and that's why he's doing it. My husband said she's a fool. Men are not stupid. Men know. They know that you want nice gifts. They know you want to be treated well. They know you want nice gift for your birthday. And one of the things that a narcissist would do is weaponize gift giving. They will literally go out of their way to give you the worst gift that they could ever think of. Because they know they are emotionally intelligent enough to know that they are inflicting harm on you emotionally and psychologically. They know what they're doing. They're not oblivious. Men know what they have to do. But at the end of the day, and I'm going to close with this, we set the tone in the relationship, unfortunately. So if you do not know how to have a good relationship with yourself, and you do not know how to assert boundaries and call out bullshit from the jump, you are going to end up in a situation like this where you're eight kids deep. Oh, and by the way, she doesn't have any nannies. That's a kicker. He doesn't want her to have nannies. She literally has no help. He wouldn't even allow her to have a nanny or two. This is abuse, ladies. This is abuse. Imagine being married to a rich man and give him 8 kids and you have no nannies. What kind of life is this woman living? Because in the world where I come from, rich wives are out here sitting on the board of their favorite charity organizations, sitting on the board of their favorite social club. They're on the committee somewhere. They're out there doing things, getting shit done. That's what rich wives are doing out here. So this shit is not normal, especially for someone who is married to someone wealthy. This shit is not normal. So anyways, I gotta go, y'all. Thanks for listening.